Good morning, my dear students. In today's class, in the chapter kinematics, we are going to discuss the topic, the instantaneous velocity, speed, and uniform velocity motion. So if you can recollect in the previous class, we had a discussion about the rest, motion, distance covered, displacement, average speed, average velocity. So further, one more very important quantity called the instantaneous speed or velocity, we are going to define that one. Okay, let me take you to the screen. Okay, let's, so if you can remember rest and motion yesterday, what we had, from there, I'm going to continue. So let me choose a, let the particle move in this particular path. Particle, since body means again, its parts will come, no? So that's why I'm choosing a particle. So initially, so let it be at a position. I'll define its position. Let me choose some other color. So initially, let me define its position. So let at t equal to 0, the position of particle is defined by r of t. What is r of t? It's a position vector. It's a position vector. R bar of t, I'll define it. So where the particle is initially, say let it be at A. Then after some time, the particle is going to move along the path. It's going to move along the path. So after some time, the particle will arrive here. So that then it will take this position. Okay, then finally, let it be somewhere here. You can choose anything. So it will be, this will be the thing. Okay, look at the position vector. The displacement vector of the particle. So can we show it to be like this? There's a one thing. What are these red color arrows? They are the displacement vectors. So this will be the R1 bar. This will be position vector R1 bar, R2 bar, R3 bar. So particle is at A. After some time, it will be at point P1. After some time, it will be at point P2. After some time, it will be at point P3. So what is this? This is a path. I think, let me start like this. The particle will start at point A. Somebody is asking, what is this? Okay, there's a point A. The particle will start at point A. It will move along this curved path. Okay, fine. So it's going to move along this curved path. Okay, I'll do one thing for your convenient. So what is this blue color line? Is a path of a particle. No. So this particular particle from at t equals it will start at A. When the particle is at A, I'll define its position by a position vector r of t. Then after some time, it'll be at point P1. Then what is the displacement? This will be the displacement vector. This will be the displacement vector. Okay, this distance AP1. So what it should be? It should be the displacement vector. Sir, how you can call that is the displacement vector? Okay, very simple method. If this is the thing that one, so this is R of R bar, you write it. This is R1 bar. Particle is at point A. After some time will be available at point P1. So what is the, how is the path? It's going to move in curved path. What is the displacement? The displacement is, so you are going to take this as the displacement. Are you looking at this? So this will become delta R1 bar. Then how we write from the vector addition, R bar plus delta R1 bar equal to R1 bar. So delta R1 bar, what you can write it as? Or delta R1 bar I can write it as R1 bar minus R1 bar. This is the displacement vector. Very simple. Just say like a particle is at a, after some time it will be at point P1. So what is the time? So this I'll write it as T equal to delta T1. After some time, T equal to delta T2, T equal to delta T3. The time interval I'm going to measure from here. In interval of time delta T1, it will be here. In interval of time delta T2, it will be here. In interval of time delta T3, the particle will be at point P3. So in interval of time delta T1, the particle is having a displacement of delta R1. So displacement, so displacement, what is delta R1? We can say magnitude of displacement in interval of time delta T1. That's a basic idea. Then how you define average velocity? Average velocity in time interval delta T1 should be equal to V average 1. Let me write it. V average 1. This should be equal to delta R1 bar by delta T1 bar. And how that average velocity will be directed? In the direction of displacement. In the direction of displacement. Are you getting this one? So therefore, the V average 1, I have to show in this one. So here, so we will indicate what are those terms. What is the meaning of that one? So this should be equal to V average 1. What about this another arrow? V average 2. What about this? V average 3. So is it justified to bring that arrow? Okay, getting now. So this should be the V average 1. If you're able to understand this, it'll be very easy for me. Okay, now come for this one. In interval of time delta T2, how much of displacement the particle is having delta R2. One more diagram. Delta R. Okay, now this will be the position vector R bar at point A. This is P2. This is R2 bar. And this is V average 2 bar. And this should be the R2 bar. At T equals 0, it is here. After some time T, the particle is at point P2. This is a path. Distance covered will be like this. This is a path, but the displacement will be in this direction. So again, here the same method, R bar plus delta R2 bar minus R2 bar equal to 0. So delta R2 bar is equal to R2 bar minus R bar. Then what is average velocity? V average 2 should be equal to delta R2 bar by delta T2. So are you getting now? So what is the direction of average velocity? So here I'm going to, as we so if a particle moves in interval of time delta T1 open, the particle will move from A to P1. Then it will have a displacement delta R1. Then the average velocity V average 1 will be like this. In interval of time delta T2, the particle what happened will move from A to P2. Then how much of displacement delta R2. Agreed. In interval of time delta T3, the particle how much of path length it will move A, P1, P2, P3. Then how much of displacement vector delta R3. Delta R3, that one. So this P3, let me write it as P now. Let me change it. So this will be much easier. Okay, fine. So what is the let me make it generalized. So this will become the position vector R T bar plus T plus delta T. So in interval of time delta T. So what is it delta T? time taken by the particle to move from A to P. Then the position vector also will change. Then definitely what happens, this should be the displacement vector, AP bar. So the average velocity should be directed in the direction of displacement vector V average. So like this, we'll define it. So what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to decrease this. I'm going to decrease this time interval delta t from delta t. So from time taken to move from A to P is delta. Time taken to move from A to P2 should be delta T2. I think this time is less. This time is less. Like this, if I keep on decrease this time interval, then what will happen to average velocity vector? Earlier for delta T, look at one more thing, delta T, I'll write it, will be greater than delta T2, greater than delta T1. As I keep on decrease the time interval during the motion. So what will happen to this average velocity vector? It's keep on going to rotate. It's going to keep on. So now is it displacement vector along the path, along the tangent to the path? Not there. So as I keep on rotate, so as I keep on decrease the delta T, then the displacement vector or the displacement vector will happen, it will start leaning towards the tangent to the path. Okay, somewhere if I make delta T very small, means if the point P, if I bring very close to the A, what do we expect? Somewhere if I bring point here, then the displacement vector will come here. If I make it delta P very small, also like the P delta T very small, so that the point P lies very close to the A. So how the displacement vector will be almost tangential to the path. Will I agree? This one. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to decrease the time interval. So as I decrease the time interval, then this displacement vector will start rotating like this, the R1, R2 bar, the position vector. Then the displacement vector will also rotate. Then if the point P lies very close to the A, then how the displacement vector delta R bar will be? The delta R bar will be tangential to the path, and how the average velocity will be tangential to the path. Okay, fine. So here I'm going to bring the one best diagram to explain this concept. So earlier, this was the position vector. The position, okay, this was a green color we took it, no? Okay, this was the position graphic. Yeah, now here I'm going to bring the delta R very close to this one. Then now the position vector will be directed, or select this one. So this will be the R bar. I'm just made delta T very small. Then this will become delta R bar. Okay, and this is a path. Look at delta R bar, how it is. It is along. So what is the direction of average velocity also will be same. So how is V average? It is tangential to the path. So I am going to write one very important sentence. So as we go on reducing the time, reducing the time interval delta T to 0, while doing so, we observe that the displacement vector S bar, I'll write it, which is equal to delta R bar or AP bar. Delta R bar or AP bar. gradually leaning towards the tangent drawn at P. So as we know that average velocity, we average points in the direction of, displacement vector delta R bar. So therefore, hence V average bar will be tangential to the path when delta t tends to 0. This is something very, very important. So finally, what we'll write it as, eventually, or finally, better you can write eventually, V average assume say limiting value I think my sentence is correct here, of magnitude and direction, which is known as instantaneous velocity at the point P as shown. Okay, this is the, you can say the the best idea of the best topic of the entire kinematics. Very, very, very difficult and sorry, very, very interesting. A student has to just understand the vector diagram. Nothing big is there. So I'm going to start with this one. What all I just discussed. No. So initially t equals 0, particle is here. After some time t it will be here. So how come you can ask questions, sir? Why delta R bar will be like this? Already I explained. As you keep on decrease the delta t bar interval, so how V average, the V average at one instant for small interval, it will be along the path. Then what is the delta t value? It will be almost tends to 0, eventually is telling. Almost what happened, the delta t, it will tends to 0. I think I have to show complete description. Yeah. I think you can see the complete. So almost eventually delta t tends to 0. When delta t tends to 0. Okay, fine. So now you have to ask very biggest question. So why delta R? So as at point P, this point P, I'm going to move very close to the A. Then now delta R bar will be tangential to the path. This is the simplest conclusion. Sir, how come you can justify? So I have answer here. You can see this. As the point P moves away from A, the angle between that will keep on increase. You can see this. So if I bring one more here, the angle between that will keep on increase. As the point P moves very close to the angle between the velocity vector and the tangent to the path, it keeps on decreases. So as I move this P very close to the A, or that the time interval delta t, if I tends to 0, then the p will become very close to the a. Then now delta r bar will be tangential to path. And the delta r bar will become displacement vector. And we know average velocity according to definition should be delta r bar by t according to this. So therefore, how the this particular velocity only, I'm going to call it as instantaneous velocity or velocity at that instant. So when average velocity will become instant velocity if delta t tends to 0. So here, so what I'm going to do is like mathematically eventually tends to 0. So therefore here, so we know V average limit of delta t tends to 0. Okay, first we'll define what is V average. What is V average? This should be equal to delta r bar by delta t. So this should be equal to this idea what we have. Then when it will be V average will become instant velocity when limit delta t tends to 0, V average bar will become instantaneous velocity. So limit delta t tends to 0, delta r bar by delta t will become instantaneous velocity. This is further written as dr bar by dt. This is the instant velocity. So how you define instant velocity? It is defined as rate of change of displacement. So what is the meaning of this? Rate of change of displacement. So how we define instantaneous velocity? Instantaneous velocity is defined as rate of change of velocity. Sorry, rate of change of displacement is defined as rate of change of displacement. So this is one basic idea of this. What do you mean by instant velocity and how it will be directed? It will be directed tangential to the path. There's no doubt. Huh? So it's defined as rate of change of displacement and is directed tangential to the path. Okay, what do you mean by dr by dt? In mathematical tools, you have come of that. You have come across this one. Later on, we are going to define that as the slope of tangent drawn in position versus time graph. Okay, the next with the help of this, we'll go for the mathematical way of expressing it here. So if I have the position versus time graph, okay, this is the position and this is the particle, this is a path. Anything? Okay, I just, the particle is moving in a plane. Okay, the position versus time graph here. So I want to find out the velocity. This one. So what he's telling is, if you draw a tangent at this particular point, the tangent drawn at that point will give the instantaneous velocity. What is the meaning of this? Actually, like at t equals 0, we'll do one thing. Let me put another mathematical. So I was just telling you, that delta t tends to 0. So the meaning of that we'll try to explore here. Okay, if I have a particle position vector of this r1 bar, position vector of this, let it be r2 bar, and time interval t1, t2. So this will become delta t. This will become delta r. and there's a point P L2. So some other thing. Okay, and what is this curve? It's a path here. So now how you define average velocity? Average velocity, you are going to write delta R bar by delta T, which is R2 bar minus R1 bar by T2 minus T1. Displacement by time taken. Then here, if delta T tends to 0, means T2, if it comes very close to the T1, or so very close means I'm going to, let's see how much curve. Yeah. So what happened now, delta T? Earlier, this was a delta T, no? Delta T tends to 0, I'll make it. Tends to 0 means will become very small. Delta T tends to 0, then we'll call that as dt. Then this will become dr bar. Then here is what we have took the slope. So how you define the slope? Dr bar by dt, tan theta, delta y by delta x. So similarly, dr by dt. So when limit delta t tends to 0, v average bar. So this will become limit delta t tends to 0, delta r bar by delta t. This will become now instantaneous velocity, or we'll write it as dr bar by dt, or nothing but instantaneous velocity. So what I'm going to do is like this delta t, I'll make it so small. When delta t tends to 0, delta t tends to 0 will become dt. Here I'll calculate the slope. What is the slope? Like it should be dr by dt, slope of tangent drawn at point P. So there it will give the instantaneous velocity. So let me define theta. So how to calculate in position versus time graph, or in displacement versus time graph? The slope of tangent drawn in RT graph at any instant gives the velocity at that instant, or gives the velocity at that instant, or instantaneous velocity. Okay, what do you mean by instantaneous velocity? See, like for interval, see, very simple. For interval of time delta t, what is the average velocity? Okay, we are able to tell. Instead of asking interval, I'm asking at point P, at certain time. Say at particular point means it's certain. At that instant, what is the velocity of particle? So for that, I'll make the time interval so small that delta t tends to 0. Then in the like a displacement versus time graph, there if I draw a tangent, the tangent drawn at that particular point will give the slope, and the slope of the tangent drawn in RT graph will give the instantaneous velocity. Velocity at that instant, the meaning of it. What do you mean by this? Velocity at that instant. Over an interval of time, the velocity is defined as average velocity. This delta t, I'll make it so small that it will almost tends to 0. Then at that instant, I'll measure the small change in displacement. How this dr bar will be directed again you have to come for this one. So how this instant velocity will be directed tangential to path. How do you can say, sir, that is from this vector diagram. So how the instantaneous velocity will be if a particle moves in a path along a certain, how the initial velocity at various points will be along its path. So there's one very generalized thing. Suppose say the particle is moving here. How the instant velocity at various points will be. So just draw a tangent there. This will be the direction of instantaneous velocity. Able to understand? So for that, what you should do, draw a tangent. That's all. Nothing is there. If you just draw a tangent, this will be the direction of what is the velocity at point 1. Okay, this let me define at point 1. V1, what is the velocity at 2? V2, what is the velocity at 3? V3, what is the velocity of particle at 4? V4, what is the velocity of particle at 5? V5, what is the velocity of particle at 6? V6. And what is this? This is called as a path. Able to understand this one? So if you draw a tangent, how the incident velocity will be directed? Along the path, that one. So why it should be along the path, I give explanation. This is very important. I'm stressing so many things, that one. Okay, then this is one thing. So how to calculate it? Okay, mathematically, I have a formula, dr bar by dt. Okay, there's a one very important conclusions which I'm making it. Initial velocity or speed will be same if particle moves along a straight line. Initial velocity or speed will be same. So how you define instantaneous speed? Let me define this also, so that will be there. So instant speed. So it should be equal to, again, v in, don't write v bar here. So this should be equal to limit delta t tends to 0 dr by dt. Distance covered, it will be like r will be the magnitude of displacement. No, distance covered, it will become, oh sorry, it will be like this. Then this will become dr bar by dt. Okay, this is the instant speed, like this will define. Okay, now I think somehow we got an idea. What is the idea? What is the idea? Like instantaneous velocity and average velocity. Sir, what is the difference between them? Still, we are not able to understand why you are discussing that instant velocity, why you have brought it. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me introduce to an example. A particle moves along a straight line. Its position is given by 2t square, or t square, I'll write it. Very simple. So what is S? S is the position. S equals 0, the particle is here. At various instants of time, let's go for the slope. S is in meter, position. T is a time in seconds. So what is S? S stands for position of particle. Okay, at t equals 0, particle will be at origin. This is the reference point. At t equal to 1 second, it will be at a distance of 1 meter from origin. 2, 4 meter. 3, it will be 9, 4, 16. At t equal to 5 seconds, it will be 25 meter. 6, 36, 49. Okay, this is what I'm going to indicate this one. So let me take this is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. At t equal to 0, it will be at origin. At t equal to 1 second, it will be at a distance of 1 meter. At t equal to 2 seconds, it will be at a distance of 4 meter. T equal to 3 seconds, it will be at a distance of 9. 16, it will be here. 25 at 5 seconds, 36. 49, it will be here. Look at now. In first 1 second, it will cover 1 meter. Next 1 second, it will cover more distance. Okay, this is no problem. No, let me ask you, what is the average velocity? Average velocity for 0 to 5 seconds. Find a particle. Let me write all the description. A particle is moving along a straight line such that its position varies with time as s equal to t square. Find average speed or velocity, both are same, average velocity for t equal to 0 to t equal to 5 seconds. For interval of time, find average velocity for time interval 0 to 5 seconds. For time interval t equal to 0 to t equal to 5 seconds. And velocity of particle at t equal to 5 seconds. I think very important question is what I just brought it. So what is asking? So there are for 5 seconds, for interval of 5 seconds is asking what is the average velocity. At 5 seconds is asking velocity. I think the difference is totally different there. So he's asking velocity of particle at 5 seconds. At means instant, at that instant. For an interval, it's another one. So what shall we do here? How to calculate average velocity? So for first 5 seconds, the formula is very simple. V average equal to delta S bar by delta T. So 25 minus 0, 5 minus 0. How much it is? How much it is? So it will be 25, 5 meter per second. Then at 5 seconds is asking. I think there's a lot of differences. You know, for 5 seconds, what was the average velocity? At 5 seconds. At 5 seconds, what shall I do? I should calculate ds by dt. How to calculate ds by dt? I'll go for the plotting of graph. Let's plot. So what are the intervals of time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let this be 10, 20, 30, 40. This is the position. And t is in seconds. So let me go for the graph. At t equals 0, it will be 0. T equal to 1, it will be 1 meter. T equal to 2, it will be 4. T equal to 3, it will be 9. Rough graph. It will be 16. 5, it will be 25. 6, it will be 36. 7, it will be 49. Okay, this is our experimental curve. May not be exact parabolic shape to some extent. Okay, let's get into the question that is asked. You have to calculate at 5 seconds, what is the velocity, no? So what shall I do? There are two things are there. You have to calculate ds by dt. How to calculate ds by dt? If you know s equal t square, so ds equal to 2t from differentiation tool. So ds by dt is what? 2t. This should become instantaneous velocity at t equal to 5 seconds. This instantaneous velocity, how much it is? (10 meter per second). This is using differentiation tool. Another method, draw a tangent. What you have to do? You have to draw a tangent. Where you have to draw? You have to draw a tangent at t equal to 5 seconds, corresponding to t equal to 5 seconds. Tangent. I think I'm unable to draw it. Oh, no. Just extend. Okay, make it a very big line. This is the tangent. Let me choose that point. Tangent drawn. So now you can ask questions. Why you are drawing tangent? Why you are drawing tangent at 5? Because at t equal 5 seconds, I should calculate initial velocity. So what shall I do is like a corresponding to t equal to 5 seconds. So what you should do, corresponding to t equal to 5 seconds, you locate a point on a curve. The point will be at. So there you draw a tangent. Then the slope of tangent should be the initial velocity. How to calculate the slope? I think you know. So you can take protractor and measure this theta. This is nothing but V instantaneous, which is equal to tan theta. How to measure theta? Theta measured by protractor. Slope of tangent drawn at that instant corresponding to the instant at which you are calculating, that should be the instant velocity. So there are two methods are there. One, graphical method. What graphical method says? Corresponding to t equal to 5 seconds, locate a point on a curve. There you draw a tangent. Then the slope of the tangent drawn at that particular point will give instant velocity. How to measure this theta? Tan theta. So first you measure theta using protractor, then tan of that will be instant velocity. Or else another method is what? This is the method 1. This is method 2. This is using geometrical instrument. This is using differentiation. I think this will be much easier. No? Every time we can't draw this. So this is a question that is asked. Are you getting no? So what is it? Why we should learn that differentiation? Graph, plotting graphs. Initially, I think I thought all those things. The necessity is this one. So the question was asked like this. Find the let it get saved. The question was asked, no? A particle is moving along a straight line such that its position varies with the time. This is the thing. Find average velocity for time interval 0 to 5 seconds and velocity of particle. This velocity of particle at t equal 5 seconds, this is instant velocity. How to calculate average velocity? We know displacement by time taken. In 5 seconds, what is the displacement? At t equals 0, it was at origin. After 5 seconds, it was at 25 meters. So 25 minus 0 by 5, 5 meters. Average velocity, there's no problem. How to get the instant velocity? Velocity at 5 seconds. So like still we are not understanding. Okay, nowadays, see, we are in the 21st century. You are moving on a bike. I'll ask you, what is the speed of with what speed you are moving the bike? So what you are going to do? You are going to look at the speedometer, no? At that instant, what is the speed of the bike? Just look at nowadays digital displays are there. It will display the 25 kilometer per hour. So what that speedometer of a bike will indicate? The instantaneous speed, not instantaneous velocity. So speedometer a bike indicates instantaneous speed. It will not indicate direction, only it will tell with what speed you are moving. Instantaneous speed or speed of the bike at that instant. So how you define instant speed? At that instant, with what speed you are moving, that is what indicated. So what is it there? There's a device. It will indicate the instant speed. If I give you some equation like this condition, how to calculate instant speed? By differentiation tool, this will be much easier. No? Just take the first derivative of it. The rate of change of displacement is what? Instant velocity. Put time t. So I want now what is the instant speed of the particle at various instants of time at t equal to say 6 seconds. So what you should do again, draw a tangent corresponding to a point at t equal to 6 seconds, means 6 seconds. So you look at the point, draw a tangent. Then again measure the theta angle made by the tangent with the horizontal. Tan theta will give instantaneous velocity. This will be graphical method. This will be much easier, no? So how to calculate the speed of particle at any instant? So let me extend this graph here. For various instants of time, we'll just discuss the instantaneous speed. This is the one thing. Okay, now again, what is the speed? V instantaneous, or you can also write only V at t equals 0. So what is the formula? V is equal to, what is the formula? V is equal to how much? V instantaneous 2t, no? Instantaneous or okay, I took on the symbol. So how much here will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. This will be much easier. Use this formula. Or else what you should do at t equal to 5 seconds, what is the instantaneous speed? 10 meters. At t equal to 4 seconds, what is the speed of particle? 8. Average velocity is different. So what is average velocity? So what you should do for the interval of time? For 0 to 5 seconds means again displacement 25 by 5. 0 to 6 seconds means, so what you're going to do? 36 by 0 to 7 seconds, so 49 that one. Like this you can go for. No, from 9 to, select from 3 to 6 seconds. What is the average velocity? Yes, you can calculate here. So average velocity is something you can calculate from here. You draw a graph. Then delta S and delta T locate it. Then the ratio of that will be the average velocity. Okay, this is, I think I'll bring that average velocity, how to calculate average velocity graphically. Okay, we have everything here, no? No, what is the interval of time? Let me pick up interval of time. 3 to 5 seconds. Or 2 to 4 seconds. Let me pick up. To provide. Yeah. Okay, this is the what I'm doing, I'm just showing how to calculate the average speed or average velocity. Since particle moving along a straight line, no, so both will be same. What was our question that was asked? 0 to 5 seconds. No, let me stick on to my question. 0 to 5 seconds. And I had to shade till here. There's a initial basic concept. Now I'm just spending more time. As the conceptual one. This will be the like this. You can change that interval 0 to 5 seconds. So what you are going to do 0 to 5 seconds. Delta T it is. And here you calculate delta S. So V average is what? This will be much easier. There's no problem. I think you know you have studied in high school. The ds by dt is the first time is what you are seeing. There's nothing but the derivative of the function. So how you define instantaneous velocity? ds by dt. So at least now you are able to understand what is the difference between delta s by delta t and ds by dt. Delta s by delta t will give average value. ds by dt will give instantaneous value. That's why the instant velocity we define it as rate of change of displacement. Average velocity, displacement by time taken. I think there's a difference there. So two methods are there. Graphical method, another by finding out using differentiation tool. What is a graphical method? How to calculate instant speed? Corresponding to point at t equal to 5 seconds. Corresponding to point 5 seconds, locate a point on a curve, draw a tangent there, find the angle made by the tangent with the horizontal, then tan theta will give instantaneous velocity. Okay. Then how to calculate average velocity? Just in the graph, calculate for corresponding delta t, what is delta s, ratio of that will be average velocity. Agreed? That's what I wanted to just convey the basic concept. Okay, now speedometer in a bike will indicate the average speed or instantaneous speed. Will be instantaneous speed. Okay, from velocity, I'm migrating to here average the instant speed, no instant velocity. Then if a particle moves along a straight line, then instant velocity will become equal to instantaneous speed. Let me adjust this content. I think things are very clearly visible. Okay, fine. So we'll move to the next content. So if you know instantaneous velocity, so can you calculate the displacement and the average velocity? The answer is yes, because what is the formula? V instantaneous is equal to dr bar by dt. So dr bar by dt, you can also write V instantaneous dt. This I'll integrate. So this integral of dr bar by dt will give will give the displacement vector. In books, usually displacement will take it as bar, no? We'll use this typical symbol. This will be better. So if you know instant velocity, can you calculate the displacement using this formula? Similarly, if you know instant velocity, can you calculate average velocity? Yes, the formula is same. V average velocity equal to integral of so if you know instant velocity, you can calculate average velocity. If you know instant velocity, you can calculate displacement. Similarly, if you know instant velocity, can you calculate the distance? Yes, it will be the distance here. V instantaneous equal to ds by d. Instant speed equal to ds by dt. So ds equal to V instantaneous dt. This I'll integrate. I'll get the distance. Distance covered, we'll write it. Similarly, average speed, this is average velocity. Similarly, average speed. Take mod of that, that will give the average speed. So if you know one quantity, you can predict remaining all other quantities. There's the idea of this instantaneous speed. So what is instant speed? What is average speed? Velocity at that instant, I'll call instant speed. Usually what is the symbol? V instantaneous. In some books, they call V in. And if I don't write any suffix here, then it is said to be instantaneous. If I average, I will mention AV, that one. Instant speed, no? So gradually we just write only V. So it is understood. It's instantaneous velocity or instant speed here. Some books they write V in, some instantaneous INST will be indicated. So rate of change of displacement will give instant velocity, rate of change of position will give the distance. So if you know one quantity, we can predict the remaining other quantities also. Okay, let me start the uniform velocity motion. Now we have this one. The next topic will be I think the best example, you are moving on a bike on a straight road. Okay, there's a road. Just simple examples. Huh? This will really help you a lot. Huh? So, and this is your car. It will move with a constant speed 40 kilometers per hour along a straight line. How it will move? Along the straight line. It will not take turn. So this is straight road. So nothing but I can say that this car is describing uniform velocity motion. Very simple. Later on we'll bring the definition. You just take a car. There's a straight road, and if it is moving along the straight road with a constant speed, the speed will not increase, not decrease. Then I can say the car is describing uniform velocity motion or uniform speed. Speed means again the magnitude will not change. So this is the best example of the uniform or car, not that bike. Okay, the bike also 40 kilometers per hour and the bike is moving along a straight line. It will not change the direction. The straight road is there. So constantly it will continuously to move with a 40 kilometers per hour. Then I can say the bike is describing uniform velocity motion. So in uniform velocity motion, what actually happens? The body covers equal displacements in equal intervals of time. For every 1 hour, how much of distance it will cover? 40 kilometers per 40 kilometers. So you can start giving the thing. So t equals 0, it is here after some time t. Then for every 1 hour, let me go for separate. So this will be your bike. Car only I'll draw it. Easy for me to draw. This will be car. So it is at s equals 0, 40 kilometers. This distance, this will be 80 kilometers. This will be 120 kilometers, 160 kilometers, 200 kilometers, and this will be 240 kilometers. T equals 0, it is here. After 1 hour, it will be here. After 2 hours, it will be here. After 3 hours, it will be here. After 4 hours. So what's happening? For every 1 hour, how much of distance it will cover? 40 kilometers. So here is what, like the time is how much? 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour. 1 hour. How much of distance it will move? 40 kilometers. Next 40 kilometers. Next 40 kilometers. 40 kilometers. This car only will move. I can move the car. Okay, not possible. You have some graphics somewhere in books, no? You can some in internet if you want, you can try that. So for every 1 hour, it will cover 40 kilometers. This is the example of uniform velocity motion. I think this is very simple for you. Even anybody can understand. Not practically possible. Huh? We don't get a straight road of 240 kilometers. On paper, I'm showing it. Maybe 10 kilometer or 1 kilometer, you can see that. So reduce that to meters, you can experience this uniform velocity motion. The speed of the car remains same and the direction also remains same. So that will become uniform velocity motion. Both the speed and direction should not change. This is the example of uniform velocity motion. So how you define? What are the basic features of uniform velocity motion? If the velocity of particle, if the speed and direction, if the magnitude, and direction of motion is the magnitude and direction of velocity, you write it. Velocity of a particle. Particle means here car. Particle remains constant. It is said to be moving with the particle is said to be moving with uniform velocity. Said to be moving with uniform velocity. Next, the body covers, the particle covers the particle will have equal displacements in equal intervals of time. Will have equal displacements. This is very, very important, in equal intervals of time. This is a very basic feature. So this is about the there's a path. What is this red color? Path of a car. Okay, this is what? Okay, graphically, can we represent? Okay, next, because the graphs are something very important. No? Every time we can't draw. Yes, the graph also we can. We have to show that equal intervals. Okay, this is our curve. I think I'll redraw it. Because I have to follow the scale. Now we'll draw it. I have graph paper. Again, we have to change complete. That will be. This will be sufficient. you can see now this interval 0. This is a time 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. This will be 40 kilometer, 80 kilometer, 120 kilometer, 160 kilometer. This will be position. This will be time. So the body covers, it will have equal displacement in equal intervals of time. Then such motion is said to be uniform velocity motion. Okay, now what about uniform speed? How we define? If a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, it is said to be uniform speed. Okay, there's a one more, same thing. So because most of the problems we'll discuss about the uniform speed also. So what about the, okay, let's come for this one. We have uniform velocity. So let's get into the, what will happen to average velocity and instant velocity. The instant velocity. So in uniform velocity motion, some features, once again, let me add up all. In uniform velocity motion, already have these things. Let me summarize all at a stretch. Copy. This not needed. The first thing. The next again. In uniform velocity motion, the particle will have equal displacements in equal interval of time or equal distances in equal interval. Both are same. This one. The velocity in uniform motion does not depend upon the interval of on the time interval. So here also the velocity in uniform motion is independent of choice of origin also. So what is the uniform velocity motion? It's a body moving in a straight line with a constant speed. Example of this: body moving along a straight line with constant speed. Now what about the average and instantaneous values? Both will have same thing. The average velocity and instant velocity will have same values in uniform velocity motion. So like this, we didn't understood. If a body moves with 10 meters per second, I think, and it's a constant, then you calculate average velocity for any interval. It will become equal to instant velocity only. For 1 second, it will move 10 meters. Not able to understand. I'll give an example. This is S equals 0, T equals 0. In 1 second, it will cover 10 meters. In the next second, it will cover under 10 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters. So what is the distance covered? You can see here. This will be 10 meter, 10 meter, 10 meter, 10 meter. Now what about the time interval? 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. You calculate average or instant velocity. Both will be same, no? For 0 to 3 seconds, you calculate what is the displacement, 30 meters. Then what is the time taken? 3. Calculate average velocity. It will be again 10 only. So therefore, if a body moves along a straight line, this is a path. If a body moves along a straight line, and if it's moving with a constant speed, then its average velocity and instant velocity will have same values. So I agree this. So already we have discussed about the instant velocity and average velocity previous class. Here I'm trying to correlate with instant velocity. So the uniform velocity motion is something very important. We are going to discuss the numericals now based on this uniform velocity motion. So till now, I just gave all the description, the theoretical ideas of the uniform velocity, the instant velocity, average velocity, incident velocity, then uniform velocity motion. All these things is what we have covered. Okay, this is about the thing. So in the next class, what we do is like we will take the help of the numericals on uniform velocity motion. I think this will be the very interesting part of all this today. What all I discussed, no? How to calculate incident velocity. Let me just summarize. There are two methods are there. Either take help of mathematical tool differentiation, directly substitute, calculate the first derivative of that function, because how you define incident velocity, rate of change of displacement, ds by dt. This will be much easier. Or else what you should do, you have position versus time graph, plot a curve, then corresponding to 5 seconds, you locate a point, draw a tangent, calculate the angle made by tangent with horizontal. Tan theta will give instantaneous velocity. This is a method one. This is like a using geometrical instruments. This is using differentiation tool. I think this will be advice. This will be using geometrical tools. This is what mathematical tool. Tell me which one you will prefer. Definitely this one. So therefore, if you learn differentiation tool, it will be much easier. You can better. Okay, best example is today you can try with your bike. So the speedometer of bike will indicate the instantaneous speed. This is one simplest example I'm giving it. Okay, now we'll let me wind up the class. Yeah, thank you all of you. Try to revise all the theoretical ideas, what all I discussed. No, so we'll continue from next class, the remaining thing that one. Okay, bye. See all of you. Take care, kids. Bye.